What is going on, guys? We are back with another deck profile, and today we have Blue Purple Kaido. If you've been following the channel, you know that I love Blue Purple Kaido in OP2. It was one of my favorite decks to play, and now we are back and a little bit stronger. Not gonna say like really stronger, but still better than we were. And yeah, so if you want to see more deck profiles like this gameplay, make sure to subscribe and leave a like if you are looking forward to trying out Blue Purple Kaido, and let me know in the comments below what leader are you playing for OP4. All right, without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so Blue Purple Kaido. The ability is for 1 Dawn, during your turn, once per turn. When one of your opponent's character is KO'd, you may add 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as active. So the ability helps you ramp as you KO your opponent's character. Very good, but unfortunately it is a multi-color leader with 4 life. So the 4 life is very dangerous, especially against a meta that is very aggressive. But hopefully for OP4, we might be able to contest those decks even better. Alright, so let's start off with our searchers. So yes, we finally get a Animal Kingdom searcher. Unfortunately, it is in the blue, which is why we are playing the Blue Purple Kaido. So we get Who's Who for 1 cost, 2000 attack, slash 1k counter. On play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Animal Kingdom Pirate type card. So at least we have that. It's a type card and not a character, other than Who's Who, and add it to your hand. Then place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck. So pretty typical of any searcher. Thankfully, we have a Animal Kingdom that is searcher for any type card, right? So it's not just characters, and you can use it for events also, and most importantly, you can use it for your stage, which is very good. So now we have plenty of way to get our Onigashima. And the other searcher, which is technically not a searcher, but it lets you shuffle your hand back into your deck and redraw new cards. So I put it in the searcher because if you are stuck, you can always play Sasaki. 3 cost, 4000 attack, 2k counter. On play, return all cards from your hand and shuffle your deck, then draw cards equal to the number of cards returned to the deck. So very good. Yes, you -1, but at the same time you get a new hand. And if you've played Kaido before, you know that breaking is a very constant thing, especially with all the non-counter and big bodies that you have in the deck. You want to recycle your hand sometimes. Now the next part is the ramp. Kaido, since the beginning of OP1, has been a deck that has a lot of ramp, and when we talk about ramp, is gaining Dawns. So not only do we have our ability to help us do the ramping, but we have cards like Jack, Sasaki, and the most important card of the deck, Onigashima Island, right? So Jack, starter deck for purple, you for 3 cost, 4000 attack, 1k counter. You on play effect, you trash 1 card and you add 1 Dawn active. So Jack is another character that has the ability to get you an active Dawn, which is very good. And then Sasaki, which is a little bit slower than Jack, but at least is a 2k counter. So for 3, 4000 attack, 2k counter, 1 Dawn attached. When attacking, you may trash 1 card and add a Dawn rested, right? And then we have Onigashima, which is probably the most important card of the deck, because it will help you pull up all your combos late game. So for 3, the stage, activate main, you may rest this stage and add and if your leader is an Animal Kingdom, right, can't forget that, add a Dawn card from your deck and rest it. So yeah, like very important, and we'll see later on for our in-game characters, Onigashima is very helpful to pull up some crazy combos. The next part is pretty simple, pretty straightforward, vanillas, right? As you know, like I've never been a big fan of vanillas, but as of late, especially playing yellow, I've been more and more of a fan of vanillas, and now we have access to some good vanillas, right? But technically, we've always had access to those vanillas, but now we're bringing them back, right? So a 5 cost, 7 attack, 1k counter, pretty basic, but also pretty hard to remove, right? Unless you have your big cards to remove it, it's pretty hard. You can't just attack it, and if you want to remove it with effects, you're gonna have to lower the cost or lower the power. And then the other one is Fukuro, and then for 6, 8000 attack, 1k counter, pretty good body. And obviously we have different types of vanillas that have the same stats and are also Animal Kingdom, so you can always replace them however you want. So the next part is a new engine. Well, not really a new engine, but a new engine to the deck. Since Kaido was always a KO, right? So everything in our deck was built around KOing your opponent's characters, but now we have more cards that could help us control the board even better, and that is to bottom deck your opponent's character. So the first one is Ulti, a new card from OP4, 3 cost, 4000 attack, with 1000 counter. When you attach a Dawn, when you attack, you can return 1 cost, return up to 1 cost 2 or lower characters to its owner's hand or bottom of the deck. So this card is very good against Law, against Zoro, if it stays on the field. Unfortunately, the stats are pretty easy for them to get rid of it, right? Otama Vista, Jet Pistol, or like Otama Marco. There's a lot of ways to get rid of Ulti. But if she sticks on the board and you can use it at least once, then you're already gaining advantage, because you can try to KO one of the characters and bottom deck one of his characters. So you're taking care of 2 characters with 1, which is very good. And then the next one that came out in OP3 is 3000 Worlds. So an event for 4 cost, and you can place a character of a cost of 5 or less to the bottom of its owner's end. So this is very good against all the annoying blockers that cannot be killed, right? So the 4 cost macro that would always get revived, the Borsalino, the Fukuro, and the Law blockers also, and the Queens in the mirror matchup, you know, like everything that is hard to get rid of, 3000 Worlds can take care of it. And as an additional effect, yeah, it has a trigger, right? But the trigger it's a little bit nerfed compared to the main effect, but you can still place a 3 cost or less to the bottom of the deck. So not too bad, but definitely nerfed as opposed to the main effect. And then we have the new Gum-Gum Red Roc, which is probably like the second best card of the deck. I'm not gonna lie, like I really like that. For 6 cost, you can place any character at the bottom of its owner's deck. Any character. Like that's insane. Like if they do, let's say mirror matchup, they drop the 10 cost Kaido, either the purple or the blue, and then on your turn, you're just like, all right, you already wasted all your Dawns, you lost 6 Dawn if you're playing the purple, or you just played the 10 cost Red Roc, and then you just bottom that big character. Insane. And the same thing can happen with all the other big characters, right? You have Whitebeard, you have Big Mom, you have the Katakuris, like I'm pretty sure like the Mihawks, like all the big characters can be taken care of by this card. So very good, and it has also a trigger, and that is also a little bit nerfed, right? Because you can place a character of the cost of 4 or less to the bottom of the deck. So it's still pretty good. 4 can target pretty good cards. So not the best, but still pretty good. And then you have the KO / game effects characters, right? That was probably the core idea of the deck, was to play these cards with the ability, right? But now we're doing a little bit of both, but we cannot get rid of these powerful cards, right? King, we had since the beginning of the game, 6 cost, 7000 attack, and on play effect -1 Dawn, you get to KO a character of 4 or less. Very good, and combos pretty well with the Kaido ability, right? Because let's not forget, every time we KO a character, we get to ramp an active Dawn. So if you go first on your 7 Dawn turn, you can attach a Dawn to your Kaido, drop the King, and gain an additional Dawn. So already there, you can see the potential of this card. And then the next one is probably my favorite card of the deck, the 9 cost Kaido. The 9 cost Kaido that we had since the beginning of the game, 9 for 10,000 attack, and on play effect, Dawn -5, you can KO a character of 6 or less, and then this card gains Rush. So pretty cool, pretty insane. And going back to what I said with Onigashima, having the Kaido and having your leader ability lets you play 2 Kaidos in a row, right? Not on the same turn, obviously, but back to back, you get to play 2 9 cost Kaido in a row. So when you have 10 Dawns, you attach a Dawn to your leader Kaido, and then you drop this bad boy. So you -5, so you're back to 5, and then with your leader ability, you're back to 6, and then with Onigashima, you're back to 7. That means that the following turn, you are at 9, and you can play another 9 cost Kaido, which is, to me, insane, and one of the main reasons why I played this deck. And then for the last card, we have the 10 cost Kaido. Now, this card hasn't been seen in the meta, right? Because we haven't seen any Kaido decks being played in OP3, or very little. But now I think it's a perfect opportunity to bring it back, because as you know, your opponents tend to fill the board a lot, and this bad boy can just wipe out the board and get you back the control that you need. So it's a very good card. 10 cost for 12,000 attack. On play, -6 Dawn. If your leader is an animal kingdom, KO all characters other than this one. So a full board wipe, but you still get a big body. So really good. But as I said before, one of the main weaknesses is not only are you dropping this one and losing 6 Dawns, but if you're playing against a blue player, Red Roc is your kryptonite, because you're investing a lot to clear the board, and all they have to do is Red Roc. So yes, they're still using 6 Dawns, but I feel like it is worth it for them, right? So that's it for the end game. Now we go to the 2K counters. Now we already seen some of them. So Sasaki, we already seen it, helps you with ramping and also a 2K counter. And then the other blue Sasaki, you can use it as a searcher / recycle your hand, and also as a 2K counter. And then the last one is X Drake. Now that one, it's my personal preference. I really like this card because the effect is very interesting. But maybe now that the meta is that your opponent has a lot of cards in your hand, it might not be that good, but I still like it. So for 5 cost and 5,000 attack, on play -1, your opponent trashes 1 card from their hand. So this is very flexible in your plays, especially if your opponent is countering heavily. But if they have the playstyle that they just draw a bunch of cards or have 10 plus cards in their hand, this might not be too good, because now they have the liberty of discarding whatever they don't need, and the effect is that much worse, right? So that one, like, it's my personal preference, but it can easily be changed with any other 2k counters out there, right? It could be with Kaya. Kaya could be an additional, like a good addition to the deck, because it helps you to draw 2 cards, trash 2 cards. So recycling your hand, getting the big characters that you need late game, or anything else that you might need at that moment. But yeah, let me know, actually, let me know in the comments below, which other 2k would you replace X Drake for? Like, I'm really curious, so let me know. And then last but not least is the counter. So this one, it's also something that could change, but I feel like Blast Breath is just too good not to include in the deck. You'll see later on the number that I have. Like, I wish I could fit in 1 more or 2 more, but for now, that's what I'm going to be testing. So Blast Breath, we had it since the beginning. Very good counter for 1, -1 done, and your leader or one of your character gains 4,000 power. So it's a bit like Radical Beam, but yes, you do pay -1, but at the same time, you'll have Onigashima on your field, so that -1, it's not a big deal. So yeah, that's it for the counters. And here you go. So this is the full deck list, the number of cards that I have per characters and events. And yeah, so that's what I'm gonna be testing for the next few weeks. And definitely this is the list that I'm gonna build once we get the OP4. So at least for the next 2 weeks, I'll be testing it out in the simulator. And once we get the packs, definitely building this one. And I'll let you guys know if ever in my next 2 weeks I have some changes. I'll probably make an update once the set is released. And that's it for the deck profile. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see gameplay of this deck. I'll try to post some gameplay, but right now Onigashima is bugged in the simulator, so I'll have to wait to test out this version. But I have a slightly different version in my channel that I've already played with, and there's a little bit of a difference, but the core of the deck is still the same. And so yeah, leave a like if you are enjoying this deck profile, and let me know in the comments below what are the changes that you would do to this list. All right, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.